It had been 3 months since Dr. Ayesha last saw Zara. As a physician, Ayesha had grown used to patients coming and going. But Zara was different. She was memorable, not because of her illness, but because of her presence. She had walked into Ayesha's clinic with a nervous smile, complaining of chest tightness that turned out to be nothing serious. Still, her warmth lingered long after the appointment ended. That morning in the park, as Ayesha went for her usual jog, she noticed someone sitting on a bench beneath the shade of an old banyan tree. The sunlight danced through the leaves, casting playful patterns on Zara's face. Ayesha slowed down, almost in disbelief. "Zara?" she called softly. Zara looked up, her eyes lighting up in recognition. "Dr. Ayesha, I didn't expect to see you here." They both laughed at the coincidence, though neither truly believed it was just chance. Something about their meeting felt like it was meant to be. A gentle beginning, they began walking side by side along the path. Zara admitted she came to the park often for peace of mind, a place to escape the stress of her job as a graphic designer. Ayesha, on the other hand, jogged here to clear her thoughts after long hours at the hospital. "I remember you told me to take it easy and breathe more," Zara said playfully. "Guess I actually listened." Ayesha smiled. "Doctors rarely know if their patients follow advice. I'm glad at least one of mine did." Their laughter flowed easily, and soon, so did their conversations. They talked about books, favorite foods, and childhood dreams. For Ayesha, who lived in a world of routines and medical charts, Zara's creative soul felt like a breath of fresh air, an unspoken connection. Days turned into weeks. They began meeting at the park regularly, sometimes planned, sometimes as if fate kept pulling them together. Ayesha found herself looking forward to those moments more than she admitted. One evening, Zara brought homemade sandwiches, insisting that Ayesha should eat something other than hospital cafeteria food. They sat on the grass, sharing food and stories. When Zara laughed, her eyes sparkled in a way that made Ayesha's heart race. But Ayesha reminded herself, "You're her patient once. Don't blur the lines." Still, every time Zara's hand brushed against hers, the boundary felt thinner. The confession under the stars one late evening, they lingered longer than usual. The park was nearly empty, the lampposts glowing softly while crickets sang in the background. Zara tilted her head back, gazing at the stars. "Funny," Zara whispered. "I used to feel so small, so alone. But lately, I don't feel that way anymore." Ayesha turned to her, her voice barely audible. "Why not?" Zara's lips curved into a shy smile. "Because of you." The silence that followed was thick with meaning. Ayesha's heart pounded. She was a doctor, a woman trained to stay composed, but at that moment, she was simply Ayesha, someone falling deeply, unexpectedly, in love. Without overthinking, she reached for Zara's hand. Their fingers intertwined naturally, as though they had always belonged together. A new chapter from then on, their bond deepened. They weren't doctor and patient anymore. They were two women discovering love in the simplest of places, under banyan trees, along winding park paths, and over late-night phone calls filled with laughter and whispers. One Sunday morning, as they walked with coffee cups in hand, Zara stopped suddenly. "Ayesha," she said, her voice trembling but determined, "I don't want to pretend anymore. I like you more than a friend should, and I think you feel it too." Ayesha's eyes softened. She had been waiting for Zara to say those words, but hearing them out loud still made her heart skip. "I do," Ayesha admitted, her voice steady. "I've tried to ignore it, but I can't." Zara's smile widened as relief washed over her. And there, in the middle of the park where they had first reunited, Ayesha leaned in and kissed her gently. The world around them blurred into silence. For a moment, it was just them, two souls who had found each other in the most unexpected way. Epilogue: their story didn't unfold like in fairy tales. It grew slowly, carefully, with respect and understanding. But it was real, and it was theirs. Ayesha often joked that she had given Zara a prescription the day they first met, to take deep breaths and live fully. What she hadn't expected was that Zara would become the one to teach her how to breathe, how to slow down, and how to love. And so, the park became more than just a place to jog or rest. It became the beginning of their forever.